The far right is using Pride Month this year to wage a culture war against the LGBTQ community. NBC News reports that security threats have forced drag events and transgender rights events to be canceled across the country. The threats, mostly aimed to shut down events for transgender rights and drag performances, which have become frequent targets of extremists, militias, and far-right personalities during June, which is Pride Month. They come as more than 200 bills targeting LGBTQ people have been filed across the United States this year. At the core of some of these attacks is willful ignorance, conflating the shows drag performers have in gay bars and clubs to all adult audiences, and family-friendly drag events at places like libraries and farmers markets. Look at it this way. It's no different than a comedian like Richard Pryor performing his edgy and profane comedy to a theater of adults and also appearing multiple times with children in educational segments on Sesame Street. For conservatives, this is actually a shift in the 7 years and 1 day since Donald Trump descended the golden escalator and officially became a political candidate. The very same month Trump launched his campaign, conservative Supreme Court Justice Anthony Kennedy drafted the majority opinion for Obergefell v. Hodges, the case that made same-sex marriage legal nationwide. At the time, it felt like the capstone, coming after the Lawrence decision in 2003 and overturning DOMA in 2013. Both opinions authored by Ronald Reagan Supreme Court pick, Justice Kennedy. And yet, since then, along with racism and misogyny, homophobia and transphobia again became acceptable in Donald Trump's America. But there are folks fighting back. In Michigan State Senate, Republicans just rejected a resolution to declare June LGBTQ Pride Month. The resolution was word for word identical to the one adopted last year. Here is how Democrat Jeremy Moss, the state's only out gay senator, who will join us in just a few moments, responded.
The people of the state of Michigan understand, appreciate, and value the cultural, civic, and economic contributions of the LGBTQ community to the greater community of this state. That is a line directly from the Pride Month resolution that we adopted last year and that you won't adopt this year. This year is 2022. It's an election year, and instead you choose to exploit divisiveness and discard this resolution. They call people groomers only in 2022, but it doesn't solve your problems. They push Don't Say Gay only in 2022, but it doesn't solve your problems. They protest drag queens only in 2022, but it doesn't solve your problems. They prey on people's fears, but it doesn't solve your problem. We instead choose inclusion. We choose love. We choose respect. We choose human dignity. We choose pride.
Joining us now is Michigan Democratic State Senator Jeremy Moss. Senator Moss, thank you for being here. You're Michigan's only out gay state senator, and you sponsored this resolution. Explain why this year, an election year, is different, as you said in your floor speech this week.
Well, we have been trying to pass this Pride Month resolution simply to declare June as Pride Month in the legislature every year that I've been elected. And I've been in the legislature for 8 years. And every year, they've rejected this resolution, sent it to committee without action. Finally, last year, we got momentum, some Republicans to sign on board. And last year, we agreed upon the language for this resolution to be adopted. So this year, I introduced the exact same resolution from June 2021 to declare June 2022 as Pride Month, and introduced it, thought it was going to be passed without any controversy or fanfare. And Republicans pulled me aside and said they wanted to change the language of it. And if I didn't change the language of it, they weren't going to adopt it. And that language included anti-LGBTQ language in the Pride Month resolution, recognizing that not everyone in the state of Michigan supports the LGBTQ lifestyle. So, you know, the cruelty is the point. And they are the ones changing the stakes. They are the ones that are moving the goalposts. And that is, it's a symbolic resolution, but it's symbolic of the struggle of the LGBTQ rights movement as a whole. You gain progress, you gain support, and they make you cross through more hurdles and more thresholds just to get to that level playing field to compete with everybody else. It's ridiculous.
I mean, one of the things that they wanted you to do was to, quote, make it, quote, more reflective of the diversity of opinions in the Senate. Child, please. Let me ask you about this, Senator Moss. In your speech, you poked fun at the notion of a so-called gay agenda, and then explained what the gay agenda really is. What is the gay agenda, Senator Moss?
So I absolutely highlighted that because they were so intentional on discarding and rejecting this resolution that's the only thing we did in session that day. They actually had votes scheduled in session that they canceled just so they could work through some procedural maneuvers to reject this Pride Month resolution. I'm the senator who happens to be gay, who's leading the fight against price gouging in the state Senate. We haven't taken that up. I'm the senator who happens to be gay, who is pushing forward on common sense gun reform, and we're not taking that up either. So I have an agenda that impacts every community. I want to create good, safe, healthy communities in the state of Michigan. Their only agenda is to divide. Their only agenda is to prey on people's fears. They're not offering solutions. We're the ones that are offering solutions that they aren't letting us put forward and get ahead.